My name's Tyler,
My name is Seth.
and this is episode 4 of the TNS Racing Podcast. We've had 3 episodes now. We had some difficulty loading up this last one, but it is up and rolling. Hopefully, I'm going to work on this one right away, so if we have any more technical difficulties, hopefully it gets up a little sooner. But we're going to get right into it and talk about what went on this past weekend. If you want to start it off, Seth, tell them kind of how your weekend went.
Yeah, so I was at Wilmot with the Badger Midgets for, I think it was healthcare provider night. Whoever had a healthcare ID can come in for free. So we had 16 cars for the wingless. I qualified 10th overall out of the 16. Started 5th in the heat, finished 5th in the heat, so I was pretty consistent with the qualifying and the heat race. And then the feature time, I started 10th and I finished 10th. I kind of fell back throughout a little bit towards the middle of the feature. Kind of got stuck up top, and there really wasn't nothing up top to really grab onto. Fell back a couple positions and kind of got stuck behind 2 cars that were kind of battling out, and ended up getting passing them and finishing 10th. So I would say it was a very consistent night for me. Other than that, it was a good night. I was glad that I was able to roll it on to the trailer in one piece. Yeah. And especially after the weekend we had at Sycamore.
So what did you guys figure out? Like you said you might have had a battery issue or something.
Yeah, so
what did you guys figure out?
We ended up looking at it, and it was one of the battery was low on voltage, but it looked like a wire was kind of broken off and hitting one of the bars, and I think that was draining the power when I was sitting on the backstretch at Sycamore, so I think that might have been the problem. So we fixed that. We actually got an anti-gravity battery charger, so that actually kind of shows us how much voltage we have in the battery now, which is good. So that is now fixed, and now we're moving on to the next step and kind of getting better at the qualifying and just getting better overall.
Yeah, where are you guys going to be at this week?
This weekend we are going to be at Wilmot again with the IRA. I believe it is Founders Night. I think it's going to be the wingless, IRA 410s, IRA Lightning Sprints, and if they might have the Bandits or Modifieds there as like little support classes. But yeah, that's where I'll be this weekend. Catch us on Flow. IRA's on Flow too, so if you guys can't make it to the racetrack, catch it on Flow if you guys don't have it. Other than that, how was your weekend?
Our weekend was really good, actually.
Yeah.
We talked about it the last couple of weeks. I needed to qualify. Qualifying has kind of been not so great for me.
That's the same thing with me.
So it wasn't going really great. We had some gremlins we were dealing with and kind of figured some of those out. But we qualified good. We went second quick in our group. I think we were like 9th overall out of like 32 cars. So definitely a step up from what we've been doing the past couple weeks, qualifying like last in our group, which that put me starting 3rd in the heat race. Fell back right at the start. The outside row kind of got a jump on me. Fought my way back up with I think it might have been on the last lap or like 1 lap left. I made a move on the bottom to secure 2nd place. I feel like if I had possibly 1 more lap, I might have been able to win that heat race. So that built up my confidence going into the end of the night. The track was way, way better than it was the week before. We talked about a really dusty track the other week. This week it was real tacky, and actually the more we ran on it, it seemed like in some spots it pulled the moisture back out of the ground. So I ended up starting 7th in the feature, kind of floated around for a little while, ended up missing a near wreck. I have no idea, thank God. I have no idea how I missed it. 2 cars literally right in front of me as I'm completely on the gas pedal spun out, and I almost hit them, just swerved around them. That got me 2 spots at that time.
There you go.
And then I ended up finishing 4th. I was challenging for 3rd against Ben Schmidt for a little while. Lance Fossbender ended up winning that, and we started catching them at the end. It was actually a really close finish. So we're going to talk about the race of the week later on, but this I would say is a runner-up for me, with Lance winning the race, Ben finishing literally right on the outside of him, Justin Erickson right behind him, and then I finished just like 2 car lengths right behind their little pack.
That's a good night.
And it was really nice to be able to land in the top 5. It was a good point night for us, and a good confidence booster going into the next couple of weeks. Now, next week, or I should say this week, we aren't going to be racing. We have off. We're just going to, work on some stuff in the shop here, make sure everything's ready, kind of clean up a few things that we think need to be done, kind of get a couple of spares prepared because we're lacking in some of that stuff in the trailer. So we're going to set ourselves up a little bit better, because then the week after that, we're going to be doing a double header at Plymouth and then Sun Prairie. We're going to get prepared, use this week that we have off to get ready for that double header. And then after that, we have an Outlaw show at Plymouth. So we want to be ready for those. So we're going to use this time off to get ready for that. We will start off with our qualifying. Seth, if you want to start off with your qualifying from this past week.
Yes, so for this past weekend at Wilmot, we checked in with 16 cars. So the top 5 that qualified for quick times, the first one was Rusty Egan with a 14.9. Second was Greg Alt with a 15.0. Eric Wilkie with a 15.11. Chris Klemko with a 15.12, and then Johnny Fall rounds out your top 5 with a 15.19. And between 4th and 3rd, that was pretty close. And then for the Badger midgets that were there with us, they had 20 cars. First was Todd Cleaver with 14.9, Gunnar Pio with 15.0, Zach Bowden with 15.1. Brandon Welty with a 15.17, and then to round out your top 5 was Luke Wackerlin at a 15.2. That was the quick times for me at Wilmot.
That's pretty crazy, though, to think they were going faster than the non-wing cars in qualifying.
Close to it.
Well, your quick time for your midgets was faster than your quick time for your non-wing.
I mean, they were all equal times. I mean, between the midgets and us. I mean, the third place and third place were all 15.1.
Yeah.
I mean, so it was kind of equal there between the midgets and the wingless. I mean, if you put those both out there at the same time, I bet you it'd be a nice equal race. But, I mean, just the two sizes comparing won't ever happen.
No, but that's kind of crazy to think that they're about the same speed around Wilmot.
Yeah. So that was the quick times. And then I had quick times for the USAC at 410, the Eldora 410 USAC. The top 5 was Kyle Cummings with a 15.7, Cale Coons with a 15.79. Third was Justin Grant with a 15.8, Mitchell Mose with a 15.83, Justin had a 15.82. And then Logan rounds out your top 5. Logan Seaver with a 15.85 for the USAC 410 non-wing, and that was actually night 2. And then night 1, that was Friday, I believe, right?
Yep.
Night 1 was Justin Grant with a 15.87, Logan Seavey with a 15.89, Jake Swanson with a 15.99, Kyle Cummings with a 16.0, and Chase Stockton rounds out your top 5 for a 16.1 for your USAC night. And then for the 410s, I have, for the first night, it was Logan Schuhart with a 13.24, then Tanner Holmes with a 13.25, Giovanni Selzy with a 13.256, Aaron Reitzel with a 13.270, and Parker Price Miller with a 13.31. And that's with those times, just the top 3. That was pretty close. I mean, I watched the highlights of it, and oh Lord, it was like they were going back and forth between each one, and it was.
And they had some good racing all weekend.
They did have good racing all weekend. And then I believe that was it for me.
All right, so I had qualifying for Fremont Speedway on Tuesday. We had Aaron Reitzel going quick time in Group A with a 12.339, Chris Andrews with a 12.427, DJ Foose with a 12.456, Cap Henry with a 12.459, Joel Myers Jr. with a 12.588. So your second and third were pretty close. Even your fourth place qualifier in Group A were all pretty close. But Aaron Reitzel would not be your quickest time, as in Group B the track got faster, and Hank Davis ended up going out there and turning in 11.988. So he ended up going quick time overall that night. And then we had Darren Nida with a 12.036, Caleb Henry with a 12.125, Justin Peck with a 12.155, and then Bryce Lucius with the 12.156. So fourth and fifth were so close.
So close.
And then we had Attica Raceway on Thursday. Qualifying, you had Aaron Reitzel going quick time, and they did theirs in groups, so kind of like the MSA does at Attica for the weekly shows. They do group qualifying. So in Aaron Reitzel's number one group, he ran a 12.206. In Group 2, Logan Schuchart ran a 12.355. In Group 3, Parker Price Miller ran a 12.157. And then in Group 4, Tyler Courtney ran a 12.283. We had Williams Grove on Friday night. They only did hot laps because they draw for their position in the heat races. And Freddie Raymer ended up going the quickest in hot laps, so that's what they kind of had for their qualifying there. Then we had Saturday Plymouth, which I was there. So for the IRA, we had qualifying. We had Will Armitage going in 11.431, Travis Aarons going in 11.471, Scotty Neitzel with an 11.481, Austin Hartman with an 11.490, and then Danny Schlafer in fifth with an 11.527. For our division, the MSA 360s, we had Ben Schmidt going quick time with a 12.192, Kevin Karnitz going with a 12.510, Donnie Gaden with a 12.690, and Billy Kreitz with a 12.545. And those are split up into our group qualifying. So I ended up going second quick to Donnie in Group 3. And yeah, so then we had qualifying, and unfortunately that was the only thing that was able to get off at Knoxville this week, because after qualifying they had to cancel the races. But for qualifying, they had Ryan Timms going a 15.358. You had Linton Jeffrey going 15.380. You had Carson McCarl going a 15.386. Austin McCarl going a 15.442. And Jace Park going 15.445.
Wow, there was some pretty close times between third and fifth there.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see. I'm pretty sure that track would have stayed locked down. Obviously, I've stayed around Knoxville for a little while. I've seen a lot of weekly races at Knoxville, especially in the past couple of years. So when it's humid out and when it's about to rain, that track likes to stay pretty tacky and locked down. So it would have been pretty cool to see how fast those times would have been throughout the night.
Yeah.
The next one, which is going to be our hard chargers. I'll start off our hard chargers. So I'm going to go back to Tuesday at Fremont. We had Cole Macedo. Quick mention on Cole Macedo. Last year, he won a race at Fremont, and actually flipped after he won.
Yeah.
So they were kind of saying he was, kind of maybe trying to get some redemption there after winning and junking some stuff, trying to go back and win again.
Yeah.
But that was cool to see. He was the hard charger there. At Attica, you had Logan Schuchart as your hard charger. Williams Grove, you had Troy Wegeman Jr., hard charger for IRA. Team Bonafide buddy, Will Garrett, we're on Team Bonafide together, so cool to see Will go hard charger. I believe he went plus 10 with the IRA.
Oh, nice.
And then for the MSA, we had Chris Clayton.
Okay. And then for mine, for the wingless, a lot of the guys kind of moved up plus 3, so there's not really a lot of big hard chargers in our feature. So I didn't really get a hard charger off of that one. But for the Badger midgets, I actually got 2 that were pretty impressive. I was watching the feature there. Zach Bowden plus 13 and Brandon Welty plus 11. I believe they both finished inside the top 10 and the top 5, I believe. But I'm pretty sure inside the top 10, and they started a little bit farther back.
Yeah.
And they were, the track, after we got done with our feature and the midgets came on after us, I think we kind of brushed off a little bit of the dust for them.
Yeah.
And kind of had them just go at it, and they really had a good show for that. So that was Saturday for the Badger midgets. And then for the USAC was the hard charger was Steven Snyder Jr. Night 2 was plus 10. I watched a little bit of the highlights, and man, he found something up top and down low where he just kind of slid up and just kind of did like mid to low groove a bit, and then there were sometimes he'd run that high groove and it just worked for him, and he was just moving. And then for night 1 of the USAC, kind of going a little backwards, hard charger plus 13 was Todd Hobson. I can't remember where he started, but I'm sure he started pretty far back, but he did finish inside the top 10 after moving plus 13. And then Braxton Cummings plus 12 as well, so he ended up finishing inside the top 10 as well for the USAC night 1. Let's race 2. For the 410s for the World of Outlaws, the hard charger was David Gravel plus 11, and then Justin Peck plus 10. They both were. I was watching those highlights too, and Gravel found something up top, and it was something like a lot of the other guys just couldn't find. Like they were smacking it, hitting the wall, or just kind of like bumping the cushion a bit. Where Gravel was just entering on top of it and just kind of letting the car do its thing, and he just let the car do its own work. So it was kind of impressive watching him do that, kind of move up. Plus, that many positions starting a little bit far back, not usually his kind of thing, starting that far back. But it's David Gravel.
Yeah.
So, but that. And what is that? And that is the points battle to watch.
Yes.
And the points battle to watch for the USACs, I've kind of brought this up to Tyler a couple of times. We kind of came up with new subjects, so I kind of would throw it in here now. So the points battle to watch for the USAC 410 non-wings is between Kyle Cummings with 760 points and then Mitchell Moles with 723. And Mitchell Moles is behind Kyle Cummings about 37 points. And for me, that's pretty close, especially with how they've been racing lately, especially Kyle Cummings and how kind of dominant he's been slowly becoming with placing inside the top 5, top 3, winning a couple USAC races. So that's kind of one of the points battles to watch throughout the season. Yeah. Because I can see right now it's going to go back and forth between the top spot.
Another one to mention, honestly, right here in Wisconsin, you have the IRA 410 sprint cars. Logan Julian started out pretty strong the first couple weeks and took the early lead. Paul Nienheiser has now taken the lead for the IRA.
I did not see that.
Yes, this past weekend, I believe he's plus 3 over Julian. So that's definitely going to be a close one to watch. There's a lot of good guys that are in contention to win that deal. Will Armitage, he's going to end up running the whole thing. So, it'd be interesting to see what he does. He had a really good race going. He was leading, ended up kind of spinning out and having to go to the back, and made it all the way back up to fourth, I believe.
Wow.
So he salvaged the points tonight, and he's definitely gonna be another one that's in contention that way. So that's gonna be I think that's gonna be a very close battle.
It kind of reminds me of that night where Rico flipped at Dodge County.
Yep.
With was it the IRA?
Yep.
With IRA, he ran back to his trailer, got in his backup car, and ended up.
No, it was the same car.
Was it the same car?
The guys put a new wing on it, and the only reason I know this, Seth, is because I have the front bumper from that car.
Really?
Yeah, it's in the back over there.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
okay.
So he flipped, and Rico was parked right by us that night.
Yeah.
And they threw it in the garbage, and I took it and had him sign it.
There you go.
But yes,
that kind of reminds me of that.
He flipped or something and got tangled up. The wing got knocked out. The front end got knocked out, and they had to deal with somebody on the track.
And
his guys were like, no, get back in the car. We can fix this.
Yeah.
And they push him out, and he goes from the back
and wins it.
Yeah,
and that's what kind of reminded me of it. I was like, oh, I remember that. I remember that Rico.
To drivers to watch, one of the drivers that I think that we have to keep our eye on, Logan Rumsey. He did get in a little bit of trouble the other week for a tire test, but he's proven to be pretty quick. He's gonna win some more races here out in PA, and I have a feeling that you're gonna see him maybe take the step up. Maybe within the next year at maybe getting like a national ride.
He's got the talent.
Yeah, it's hard to be fast in Pennsylvania, and he's been consistent out there. So it'll be interesting to see what he does in the future. So that's my driver to watch.
So for mine, it's a USAC 410 non-wing driver. We just kind of recently talked about him. Is Kyle Cummins. He's been on kind of a tear lately, I would say. He's been placing inside the top 5 probably every race he's been in. So that's kind of one driver to watch. I mean, he's been dominant. I mean, the past couple races he's won, and it seems like he's going to keep going.
Yeah.
But that was one of the drivers to watch. I mean, he's been doing it for I don't know how long, and he's good at what he does, and he's showing it and he's proven it. But yeah, that's one of the drivers to watch is Kyle Cummins for sure.
All right, so we have hard luck. Unfortunately, this man was going to make his 410 debut.
Yes,
and
yes, he did.
If you want to introduce him, Seth.
Yeah, so he originally started with the wingless in the beginning of the season. Then he kind of had some.
And those were the wingless 604s?
Yes.
What you're running?
Yes, the wingless 604s. Then he had, I think it was the first night, he had, I believe some battery issues. And the next weekend, we saw that he took the 604 out and he put a 410 in, and he went 410 racing. And then we found out that he ended up blowing the motor up and putting the 604 back in. So the hard luck goes to none other than the 29 OG Tom Eller.
Yeah.
I mean, him having problems with the 604 in the beginning of the season, and then going to the 410, and then blowing that up, and then putting the 604 back in. I mean, that's what kind of start of the season. You don't want to start the season off like that, taking 2 motors out and putting another one back in. That's just no one really wants to do that. I mean, he always wanted to do a 410 debut, and he did, but unfortunately, it just didn't happen the way he wanted it, and which no one does. But it was good to see him try and do the 410 stuff.
Yeah.
It's good for like another step up. But Tom Eller does get the hard luck of the week because of the 410 blowing up. So.
Yeah. Alrighty. So We're gonna have a lot of stuff to go through next week.
Yes,
Um,
for sure.
I will have a lot more time on my hands to be able to watch some of these races since I have off. You are going to be behind the wheel.
Yep.
Depending on how the weather is, maybe I'll come out and stop out.
Yeah.
And I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yes, fourth episode.
Yeah, the fourth
one.
episode of the TNS Racing Podcast.
Yep.
Make sure you guys like and share this with your friends.
Yes, sir. Hit that bell for more live notifications
Yep.
as well.
And we will catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.
Deuces.